Hi, and welcome to today's Photoshop text effect tutorial. We will be creating a blood drip, great for Halloween, and it can also be just with the flip of a color changed into something like a glowing slime drip as well. I am working on getting either a PSD file with the alphabet pre-done and the layer styles kept in that up on Dollar Graphics, which is my stock website. So you can go to products, click text effects, and it will bring you here. Just about every tutorial that I do go ahead and create the alphabet or create a PSD file of some sort. And I do sell it. A little bit of background. I've been a graphic designer for about 4 or 5 years now. Had a great job, horrible bosses. So this past year has been quite rough for me as I have not been able to get back into working for someone else in my area. There's just not a big demand for it. So purchasing through my stock site, it helps me as a single person. And I really enjoy finding new tutorials, creating tutorials to share with everyone. So before we get started, you will need a dripping blood texture, okay, which is, I will put the link in the description, but go ahead and download this. You can also get a great blood splatter brush from ucreative.com, was the best one that I found. And let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and create a new document and go ahead and throw some text in here. Go ahead and flip. Let me just fix this. I'm going to delete that layer. I'm going to bring white to the foreground. And you're going to keep everything in caps for right now. I should have upper and lower available when I do create it. Let's go ahead. This Anja Elian accent. I use this for a lot of stuff where rounded font is the best. It's just a great font to work with. I believe I got it off of defont.com. Go ahead and pull in the blood texture that you downloaded. And you're going to go ahead and just line these up as big or small as you want. That looks good. You're going to want to raster size this and then go ahead and click the magic wand and delete the white. Control D will unselect that. Control J will go ahead and copy your layers over here. So that way we can just go ahead and pull them over. Okay. Just kind of want to see what the drips are looking like on the letters themselves. Okay. Control Shift and then Control G to group everything and Control J to make another copy. And then you're going to go ahead and lift this up a bit. I don't flatten it because you don't necessarily want the drips looking the same for the top and the bottom. And you may want different drips. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and make a copy of that drip, Bring this one over because I know I want a little bit more coming off of the C here. Okay, the A is gonna kind of drip right down into the middle. You can go ahead and make it smaller. Let's zoom up in here. That looks good. Okay, some fast shortcuts. If you're working and you have your move tool, if you just hold down the Z, it will pop up your magnifying glass, and the Alt key is zoom out, and without the Alt key is zooming in. Okay, let's go ahead and just finesse this a little. Kind of like that. And then we can just kind of have some drips coming off of the sides of the Y here. Alright, so you'll have something that looks like this. You can go ahead and let's just flatten each one by clicking on the group and then Control E. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our eraser tool, which is the shortcut is E, or you could just click it from the toolbar. If your caps lock is on, it won't show you the precise tool. So if it's off, then you will see the size. And then just erase where went a little too far over. Preference only is what this is. You could either leave it full on, just pouring off the bottom, or you can go through and do what I'm doing and give a little separation to the letters. Now I did the size of my document, 300 dpi. I do a lot of advertising print, so I like being able to use my stuff for large products when necessary. I did do work for a multi-million-dollar retail store where I would create several newspaper ads, magazine ads each week, and it was pretty fun. I do kind of miss doing that work. And we also did monthly magazines just for some sales and for local tourism. Okay, almost done here. So aside from using it for blood or like a green slime, if you also wanted to get creative, you could also make this a candle style drip. If you went and you found some flame PNGs like candle flames, you could put them on top of each letter as well, make it look like it is the wax dripping. Okay, so let's see what we have. Alright, so that's good enough now for our purposes here. go ahead and Control Shift and then click on the bottom layer with the text, and then Control E to merge it all together. Okay, let's pull up, and we will start. I usually start from the top and work my way down, how it's set up in my FX panel, so it's always the bevel and emboss. Okay, so I have my depth set to 110%. My size is only going to be 10 pixels, and then you do not need to soften it, and make sure that it is up, inner bevel, and smooth. Use Global Light. That one, it's just a preference. You can always go back and see what it looks like with it on and off. I had mine on, and we'll go to an angle of about 56. And the gloss contour is going to be a rolling slope, so you can hover over the names, but just go by the looks when you're going back and forth. Once you do this once, most of the settings will save in here. Highlight mode is screen with white color. Shadow mode is black, and it should be set on multiply. If you click on contour, we're also going to set this on the rolling slope as well. And then click OK. Oh, not out of it though, sorry. Okay, so next we are going to be looking at our inner shadow, and we want to make sure that the blend mode is set to multiply. Now this is kind of cool too. I like how it's already starting to come along. Just on this picture, it makes it look more realistic here. The color that I'm using is 3C1212, angle of 56, distance of 4, and a size of 54. And then for a contour, we're going to use the double ring contour, so the really deep valleys and high slopes. Okay, now we are going to be going on to inner glow. Blend mode is multiply. Have this somewhere around 100%. It doesn't have to be precise. The color is 391211, so it's a deep, deep shade of red. And then, let's see what I have here. The size can be 10. The choke is set to 0. And then we are going to use the rounded steps contour. Okay, so the next item that we are going to look at is the satin. And have the blend mode set to multiply. You can use the color 290E0E, which will be almost like a black maroon. And we're going to do the inverted cone contour. And you can use the distance of 17 and size of 18. And then as you see when we did the color overlay, though I did kind of like the texture that was on the original picture. I mean, if I blend it a little bit more, then you would be able to see like this edge if you fade it in. Then you could see the drips actually coming over the text. I wonder. If I kept the text and I didn't flatten it, I could probably do what I want to do and just keep this looking like it's dripping over and seeing it, but I can't, so right now we are just going to do 100%, and the color is C62127. Okay, next we are working on the gradient overlay. And let's go ahead, just do normal blend mode. The left color, I used EE2C2E, and the right color, 471111. And then just click OK. I use the linear style. And I just want to check my notes. And that's it for this one. The outer glow. Okay. Let's go ahead and I set the blend mode to screen. The opacity I kept down to 19. If you bring it forward, you kind of get a funky backlight, which you might want depending on what your background is going to be, but on an all black I wouldn't go higher than that. Color is 731012. And then I use the size of 7 with a 0 spread. And the contour is just the linear one. It's usually already in there. Okay, the drop shadow. Use an opacity around 69. But again, it depends what the surface of the background. The angle can be 56. Distance 1 with a spread and a size of 0, and then a linear contour. Everything's also going to change depending. I use a quite large text. I'm not sure what it was when I started out, maybe 150. But you can see just by taking off like the inner shadow, it changes the look. Inner glow, a little bit different. Let's go back. Was it this one? So you get a little bit more highlight on the blood if you use global light. But that looks pretty good without it too. I actually think I'm going to leave mine off. And then just click OK. Now with the brushes that I downloaded, go ahead and put up another layer. Click on the Splatter brush and make it larger. Oh, that's because I'm on my eraser tool and I did not even realize it. I was wondering why it was not showing up. So you could just put some different splatters on a layer. And then what you'll do is you'll go up to the group, copy layer style, paste layer style, and then you can tweak it. Since it's a different size, you may not want such a bright glow up around the tops here. You might want that a little bit darker. But there you go, dripping with blood text. Now let's go ahead and look at the color overlay. Like I was saying before, you can go through and change it to different shade and kind of have like this green ooze effects. The black is kind of cool. Do some gray. Orange. But yeah, so this is kind of versatile for a couple different Halloween projects. Please go ahead and give me a thumbs up for the video If you can, don't forget to subscribe. I do usually post at least 1 to 3 videos a week. I have been trying to do. Like I said, I create this text and then I also sell it. The tutorials are free and I will actually be posting them on my website, $GraphX. There's no I, it's just GARPHX. And I do have some stock photos, but I do need to revamp that. Some of them just, they're not coming out quite well. Live and learn. But every little bit helps and supports me being able to make these great videos for you guys. Thank you so much for watching.